it's the only physical structure actually remaining from the war, from the battle. And this is also the site where the most white folk were actually killed.
Wow, this site.
This site right here, Porterhouse, the remnants of it.
Wow. So that's
again, that was very serious about this. This wasn't just something willy-nilly. It was planned out. Even actually had a paymaster, because they took, weapons, or they took horses, and they also took money too. He really wanted to actually pay the troops too.
Wow. So he was a general for real.
100%.
And now, what is this house again? I'm sorry.
Well, we don't know exactly what this house was. This may actually have been a slave quarters for all we know. We don't know for sure. But this right here is the remnants of the actual porterhouse, one of the battle sites where the most number of Caucasian people were actually killed in action.
How many people would you say that was killed from that?
About 9. About 9 to a dozen. At this site.
At this site here.
Yes. Now the numbers again are skewed. They say that 63 white people were killed. It may have been more than that. It certainly wasn't less than that, because white folk always have a habit of lying.
Yeah. What was that thing you were saying about in regards to the empathy of in the car you was just talking about, like you had asked the people, like, how would you feel if your people were enslaved?
When I speak to Caucasians about Nat Turner and they, have a sour disposition, and I say to them, who would want to be a slave? Would you want your people to be enslaved? And wouldn't you be happy if someone amongst your group stood up and said enough is enough?
Yeah.
As a Nat Turner is to us?
Yeah.
Complete silence. But then they go, oh, I never thought about it that way. But how else can we think about it?
Amazing.
You don't want to be as we didn't either. So that's what this is about. So you basically said the mentality.
Yeah, they don't look at us as being human beings.
Yeah.
How did Michael Jackson sing the song? They don't really care about us.
They don't really care
about us.
Yeah.
But what does the scripture say? What does it say in the Bible? Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long. Well, black people are the fathers and mothers of all of humanity. Dear white people, dear people all around the world, wouldn't you be wise to honor your father and your mother as a black man and a black woman? So this way your days may be long. That makes sense.
Powerful.
Come on. Really?
Powerful.
Really?
Beautiful. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Yes.
What a wonderful tour. What a wonderful tour.
Nat wanted to make sure that he was really down with the cause. He could read exactly the exact words. And when Will stated exactly what his reason was for being there, Will and his friend Nat said, y'all can come on too, and took them in strict confidence. Now that night was when they actually again got started, and it was agreed that Nat should actually, of course, land the first blow. So they were about to go into the house and they were going to bust down the door, and Nat was like, no, we can do this better, because again, he wanted to be strategic. He didn't necessarily want to alert the whole neighborhood. So he found a back way into the house, and they literally were in the bedroom of his earthly slave master. And he had a sword, Nat did, and he tried to kill Putnam Moore, and it was only a glancing blow. And he immediately woke up, and Will, the executioner, they called him, he had a broad axe, meaning it was a double-edged axe, and he immediately dispatched him. His wife woke up right behind that, and Will also took her out too.
Wow.
Yes.
What about where are we at now? We stopped.
This right here is a little bit further up from Cabin Pond Road, where the revolt was staged that night.
Wow.
So this is literally where they marched down this road that night.
Wow. And all this cotton and all that stuff was probably
yes,
here.
Cotton was like, to give you an example of just how big and important cotton was, in today's world economy, what's the thing that the major commodity with today's world? It's oil.
Yeah.
It's petroleum. So back then, cotton was like petroleum. It was like oil. It literally was the driving economic power and force behind America's riches.
Wow.
Cotton was big. They call it king cotton.
I mean, and it's miles and miles and miles and miles of cotton on both sides of the road. Wow. I mean, and these things could be sticky too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just want to grab a handful of the cotton only.
Okay.
At one time. It's a little art.
There's a little art to it.
It's an art to it.
Yes.
Wow.
Thank you. See like here, I'm grabbing the entire outside pieces with my fingers and pulling.
And pull.
Just giving it a tug. There we
Oh,
go.
wow.
That way there's no pricking. You're just going straight to the,
I got it.
okay?
Right.
And picking it by choice, not by force.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
We realize on these very same lands, our ancestors were whipped, beaten, bled, brutalized, lost their lives for this white fluffy commodity.
Yes. Amazing.
Today we pick it in their honor. On behalf of our grandmothers, our grandfathers, our sisters, our brothers, the men, women, and children, we pick it in their honor. Yes.
Wow. But thank you.
Thanks.
Beautiful.